This is Mickey Clayton, the coach. I'm the founder and CEO of INSiiGHTS, now of our new TV channel, INSiiGHTS Roku. Follow us on INSiiGHTS Roku, INSiiGHTS, 2 eyes in the middle. We are expanding our content and doing more with HBCU Black College Sports, and following the SWAC and getting deeper into what's going on with it is one of the things we're doing. One of our reporters, Earl Hankerson, traveled to Birmingham, Alabama with me for SWAC Media Day. As a former Division I coach for men's basketball and head women's basketball coach, both at Florida A&M University, I always seek to give insight into the games and the players that perhaps other people are not always aware of. Let me explain to you that one of the major differences is the vision of this SWAC leadership. There has always been good teams in Black college sports, always. But being visionary in today's changing conference allegiances and loyalties is critical. SWAC Media Day is a great event. Coaches, star players, administrators, sponsors, and the media. We hear from a little bit of everybody. The SWAC shined on this day, on their media day. They released their preseason players, the projected finishes of the top players and the top teams. INSiiGHTS will show you the best of the best, but make sure you enjoy it, because the SWAC Media Day is truly a special event. It's Mickey Clayton, the coach.
You are listening to Mr. King.
We have the commissioner from the SWAC, Dr. Charles McClellan. I talked to him a long time ago. He's met so many people. One of the things I have to say is that the SWAC has really embraced a lot of its own. The YouTubers, the podcast, everybody in Black social media that has any love for the SWAC is here.
Right.
I know that had to be strategically part of your planning.
Absolutely. I mean, that's who we are. It's important for us to reach out, and it's important for us to give back. And regardless of what platform you're on, if you are doing the right things, we want you to be a part of what we're doing. You know, conversely, if you're not doing the right things, you know, it probably won't be here. But we all supposed to grow together. As we continue to grow, there's enough room for everybody. And that doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything that goes on within the SWAC. That's not the issue. What we want is for people to cover SWAC and give us the just recognition that our coaches deserve, our student athletes deserve, and from a conference office, arms are wide open.
Well, Doc, you have done an outstanding job in terms of growing the SWAC. I think last time I talked to you a couple years ago, we were talking about Florida A&M coming on, which they've done, Bethune-Cookman, which they've done, and we were talking about Tennessee State. So, I mean, it's been a while since we've talked, but John Grant kind of put us together, and we were able to talk one day. And I just really appreciate your honesty and what you've done for the SWAC.
I appreciate that. We're trying, and again, I'm a SWAC baby, born and raised, and hopefully I got another 30 or 40. I was getting ready to say born and raised and probably die SWAC, but I don't want to. Hopefully I got another 20, 30 years before I die. But this is who I am, and it's a passion. It's not just a job, and we'll continue to work hard.
What message would you like to send to the SWAC fans and to those people who are just learning about the SWAC? What would you like to say to them that we can let them see on our platform?
Hey, get your popcorn. It's going to be a really, really good year for us in the sport of football. So get ready and get ready for some great football.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We look for even a greater level of attendance. When you look at the numbers from just an audience perspective, we had well over 35 games on. There were 7 games that outdrew ESPN Linear that was on digital. So on ESPN Plus, there were 7 games that had more viewership than on the linear channel, which means that our brand is exploding. When we took over about 4 years ago, we took over a conference that was about $2 million in deficit. Well, right now we're not in deficit. We have a robust budget. As a matter of fact, our budget is going to be the largest that it has ever been within the Southwest Atlantic Conference. We distributed the largest distribution to our membership last year. As you know, we put a note on a new building. We actually paid that building off. And when you look at our corporate partners, when you look at all that we're doing from a media perspective, we're going to be in the top 2 as far as SES budgets are concerned. And then when you look forward down the road, we know that we'll be number 1 in SES budgets within the next 2 years. And by 2030, our revenue is projected to be above 3 FBS conferences. So when you start talking about growth, when you start talking about strength, you're now talking about the Southwest Atlantic Conference really on the trajectory being in the top 10 as far as strength in this overall landscape. So we distribute that money back to our member institutions, but as you know, revenue brings strength. When we give the money to the institution, it sits us in a pretty good position. I mean, I'm sitting over here like, do you feel?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Earl Hankerson with INSiiGHTS here with Shador Sanders. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing good. Hey, so son of a legend, NFL legend, Hall of Famer, what type of pressure, if any, do you have to play under his tutelage? And, what are some of the expectations that you all have?
I mean, I've been having the same expectations since I came out the womb, man. So it's nothing different just going to college, because in high school I dealt with the same thing. So, it's just a normal day in Shador life.
That's right. Your dad coached you pretty much all throughout your whole life. What are you going to take from last season into this season that you feel is going to make you a better quarterback, a better leader?
Spending more time with the receivers, so we all be on the same page, I would say. So when I'm saying they think exactly what I think at the point in time, I think. So I feel like that's a very important factor with quarterback receiver chemistry.
Okay, absolutely, and that your progression in that is going to bring together a more cohesive unit and team.
That was my first year playing college football.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I did a pretty good job. So this year is more of a stamping it and putting up numbers.
Yeah, we feel like you did a pretty good job too.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, Shador Sanders from Jackson State University. Thank you. Have a great season.
Well, definitely.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Mickey Clayton with INSiiGHTS.
Isaiah Land, nice to meet you.
Yeah, we know the legend. We know how you're doing. Well, man, we just wanted to ask you a little bit, how you feel about this last season coming up?
Well, I try to I don't really, when I go into every game to try to chill my nerves, I try to not pay attention to all the outside hype. So for me, I'm just going into the season as if it's another season. I'm going to just do my 1/11th every play and play as hard as I can. I'm not going to try to live to nobody's expectations when it comes to sacks and stats and stuff like that. I'm going to just play good football and hope it all plays out well in the end.
Okay, how does it make you feel to be noticed as one of the players they want to invite to the Shrine Bowl at the end of the season? They got their eyes on you.
It feels amazing. Since high school, when I was a freshman at FAMU, I used to see the scouts come, and they used to be lined up around the practice field talking to my teammates, and they'd never look my way. So it feels good that they finally look my way, because I used to tell myself one day they're going to be coming to practice asking for me. So, it feels great.
Well, man, from FAMU fans everywhere, we wish you a lot of success and the team a lot of success.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
That's us. We'll
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Earl Hankerson from INSiiGHTS here with safety Ershad Davis, Alabama State University. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. So take us through what you see on that back end of the defense. What are you looking for? What kind of reads you making? What kind of plays you expect to make this season?
I expect to make a bunch of explosive plays, man. We got some new guys in the room, and they just came together, and we just looking to swarm as one and play fast on the field.
All right, and tell me about that atmosphere at Alabama State. What is it that you enjoy about Hornet Nation?
Hornet Nation, man, the fans, man, the community, they're all so intense, and you can't do nothing but feed off that energy and get excited about the game coming up, because the fans are, and they'll let you know that too. So it's just about buying into the energy and accepting that and flowing with it.
Absolutely. Now you coming in this season, coaching change was at the helm. Coach Robinson, Eddie Robinson Jr., what has he brought to the table for you guys this season, and what's your outlook?
Man, he brought a lot of love to the table, man, just making it more of a family thing, just all about football. It was about life with him, and that just made me want to buy into this new program a little more and just, continue to ball out and give our all to him.
Absolutely. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ershad Davis, safety at Alabama State University. Good luck to you this season.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you. Hey, this is Earl Hankerson with INSiiGHTS Sports and the great Connell Maynor, Alabama A&M University. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good, good. Coach Maynor, you're one of the most charismatic coaches that we have in the SWAC, and you definitely keep people entertained. Where did you get that type of swag from?
I'm just being myself. I like to have fun, and I always tell the players, go out there and have fun, and the team that have the most fun is going to be the team that's going to be successful. So I just like to have fun, and I like to be myself. I'm not a typical football coach that say the stuff that everybody want to hear. I'm going to tell you like the TI is, whether you like it or not.
Yes, sir. And we appreciate that because you give some great sound bites and some things like that definitely keep us entertained. So,
Yes,
so
sir.
we are very fond of that. Now, you brought in several transfers from the portal this year to kind of shore up some of those areas in need. How do you think those guys are going to work out for you? What are your expectations?
Well, I think they're going to work out. That's why we brought them in. But that's why we play the games. But right now, everybody loves their football team at the beginning of the football season. And a lot of the guys they brought in. But at the end of the day, they got to go out and perform. So we got to see how they go out and perform. But right now, we like what we got.
Absolutely. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Connell Maynor from Alabama A&M.
Right,
we appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, this is Earl Hankerson here, INSiiGHTS Sports, here with Omari Hill Robinson, cornerback, and Kamari Everett of Bethune-Cookman University. Gentlemen, how y'all doing? Good. Hey, so tell us about the outlook of your season. What do you think is going to be some of the focal points for you guys coming up this year?
For this season, man, we got big goals, and we added some great key pieces to our offense and to our defense. So it'll be a huge turnaround from last season.
Okay. Yeah, not many people could foresee 2-9 last year. I talked with Coach Sims, and we talked a lot about the fact that you all weren't able to be together as a team before the season due to the COVID protocols and things of that nature. You all didn't get together until late. Do you feel like that was the part of the reason that you guys may have struggled a little bit?
I would honestly say that played a huge role, man. That played you got to understand, the COVID season and then not having played in spring and then coming back fall camp and trying to play the next month and thinking we're going to be a great team. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Kamara, you big tight end, garnering a lot of attention. What do you think your prospects may be for the next level in the NFL?
Could you repeat that?
What do you think maybe is your prospect, or how do you feel about getting to the next level right now at this point?
As long as I stay the course, continue to know what I'm doing, have a dominant season, and then go to the combine and dominate the combine, I feel like I have high chances of making it to the league.
Okay. Omari, what's some of your goals for this year?
Make plays, catch a pick or a deflection every game, make twice as much tackles I made last year. And yeah, that's it. Make first team again, first team All-American.
All right. Now, I had a chance to coach Marcus Riley at Rickers High School in Tallahassee. What would you say to him right now about the season? What you expect from him?
Marcus, that's my dog, man. We played at Louisville together, and it was heartbreaking that he couldn't play with me last season because I know what Marcus can bring to the table. But my biggest thing for Marcus, I just need him to stay healthy, stay locked in this season because I know he got it in him, and he'll have. That's our underdog, our sleeper for the SWAC. They don't really know too much about him, but I just want him to have a dominant season, man.
No, we know. Everybody know. I think about Marcus. Listen, I'm from Daytona Beach. My entire family went to Bethune-Cookman. I am a FAMU Rattler. You think I made a mistake?
Most definitely.
Yes, you made a big mistake.
They'll love to hear that, I'm pretty sure. But no, hoping all the best for you guys. I always say I want you to be undefeated until you get to Orlando. But no, I'm behind you guys 100%. I hope you have a really good season. And anything out there that you'd like to say to the Wildcat faithful?
Wildcats, we'll get our get back this season.
What Kamari said, get back season.
All right, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Amari Hill Robinson and Kamari Everett, Bethune-Cookman University.
INSiiGHTS now has its own Roku channel. INSiiGHTS itself is a dream maker, providing a platform for content creators. Go with INSiiGHTS Roku channel into 91 million homes. We are strengthening our programs that will continue to educate, entertain, and enlighten our viewers. We will still feature youth sports, Mick and Rick, INSiiGHTS Magazine, Remember the Legends, and much more. Stay tuned for our creative content. Appreciate your support.
Hey, this is Earl Hankerson here with INSiiGHTS Sports with the great Terry Sims from Bethune-Cookman University. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, we're at SWAC Media Day. Just a couple questions. What do you see this year? Last year you had a tumultuous season of sorts, not being able to get out early with your team throughout the preseason until you got to camp due to your COVID restrictions. What are you seeing different this year in your team as compared to last season?
We're seeing a lot of carryover. We're seeing a lot of retention. Guys are retaining information. Guys are working harder because they've had an opportunity to work together, to be around each other, to learn to trust each other. I think that's the biggest thing with our football team now. We're now performing and preparing as a team.
Yeah, that trust factor is real important with anything that you do in the team concept. Coming into this season, what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge?
Well, I think our biggest challenge this year is just getting through the bad points in last year. And I think our mindset has changed as a team. I think our focus has changed as a team. So I think the biggest thing that we'll have to get past is just not letting and not allowing last year to affect this year.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, I had the pleasure of coaching Marcus Riley at Ricketts High School in Tallahassee. What are some things that he's going to be able to bring to the table this season for you?
Marcus Riley is a playmaker for us. He's a guy that's a ball of energy. He's a guy that loves to play the game. He loves to play the game for and with his teammates. He just makes it great to be around him and great to watch him play the game.
Absolutely. Those are the same types of traits that he had while he was coming through Ricketts. So anyway, Coach, we know that you got a long day ahead of you. We appreciate your time, and thank you for being here with us with INSiiGHTS Sports.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Earl Hankerson, INSiiGHTS Sports here at SWAC Media Day, and we're now with Tyler Thomas, offensive line extraordinaire for the G-Men,
Yes, sir.
Grambling State University, looking real sharp today.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. So, coming into this season, what are you seeing the biggest advantages, I guess we could say, of having a coach in Hugh Jackson coming into the fold?
I feel like he just knows what it's supposed to look like. You know, he's been at every level, so he knows what it takes to win. So we just gotta, as a team, come together and put it all together and win.
Absolutely. What are you looking forward to out of your season? What are some of your team goals, aspirations, things that you have on the table?
I mean, I'm looking forward to every game, but the goal in general is to dominate. You know, we want to win every game. We want to go to a championship and win that too. That's what we are preparing for.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you, Tyler. It's been great talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Mike Smith, interim AD, Florida A&M University. Good to see you here. Actually, good to see you anywhere, homeboy.
Always good to see you too, Mick. You know that. Glad to be here, and
Glad to see you here doing what you do all the time, creating an environment for anybody who is willing to get in your space. How about that?
I'll go with that. It's willing to get in my space. Okay, we'll go with that. Tell me, isn't this an excellent way to prepare to kick off the football season?
I think it is. I think any student athlete, coach, administrator, or fan of any particular program is excited for this time of the year. It's a great time to kick off, and so we're here. We're excited. We know that the most important part of it is on Saturdays in the on the field. But before they get to the field, they got to get their homework too. So we'll make sure they get their classwork done. How about that?
Well, we understand the significance of it, and that's the primary reason. As we even had an excellent conversation with the friends I just met from Pepsi-Cola, and the significance of them even saying what you and I already knew, that they recruit a lot of athletes into their company.
Exactly.
Because they understand that the athletes know about being a team, working together,
Yes,
the
sir.
family atmosphere, and that they really like having some of the athletes coming in, academically sound athletes to come in. So I know that that's something, having been at Florida A&M and a graduate of, how significant that factor is.
And a coach of 2 teams, both men and women's basketball. And so you instill that into your student athletes and watching them take off in their careers and continually. So you get it. You get it very succinctly. And, you know, both those guys and young ladies that have benefited from being under your leadership, it shows across the nation and the world. So thank you, and hats off to you, Mickey, for what you've done to make that mark on Florida A&M.
Thank you, Mike. You know, we both from Cleveland, and we understand, you know, we've been through it together, and the family atmosphere that we both talk about that's been an integral part of the success of the institution that we both graduated from, and our families that have graduated from it.
That's right.
We continue to reap the benefits of attending an institution like Florida A&M that allowed us to live a lifestyle and standard of living that we might not have lived otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. I wear the orange and green most everywhere that I go because what it has meant to me and my family, both my family that was here before me and family that has come after me. And so, you know, I'm very appreciative of all the opportunities that have come as a result of that. But again, the brand is strong. Our program called Athletics is just a part of that, component of that overall brand. And we want to continue to help make it a place that's attractive for people to want to be a part of. And so today is another one of those opportunities here at the Football Media Day. FAMU is here. FAMU is excited to be here, and Coach Simmons and the student athletes and all the staff that have come to represent FAMU are doing a very good job, and I'm happy just to be here to support them.
And well said, Mike. And one of the things that I'm really kind of proud of is in talking to Isaiah, he's a well-spoken, well-thought, articulate young man. He represents himself, the school, and his family very well.
Yes. So, Mick, I had the opportunity to have lunch with him today, and I made the same observation to them that they spoke well, and they spoke about the team, not themselves. And that was really good to hear that they are legitimately invested together, along with their teammates, to make sure they do the very best that they can when opportunity permits on those Saturdays, that they'll be engaged on the football field and in competition. And so that's a compliment to Coach Simmons and his staff and the support that they are providing those young men and setting examples that those guys are willing to follow and that they trust as they prepare for the football season. Because at the end of the day, Mickey, you know, we all know on Saturdays that's what we're here for. That's what we get behind. That's what we support. That's what we're excited about. And so we're hoping that those guys, that we do everything we can to get those guys prepared to have and kick off on a good season.
Well, Mike, continued work in the task that you've been given, and know that none of what happens on Saturday without the teamwork that takes place behind the scenes to get those guys to the field, get it ready, and all of that. And I wish you and your team continued success in chopping that wood down and continuing to build a stadium and a place that we can all be proud of for these student athletes.
So thanks, Mickey. I do want to say that it is definitely a team effort. There are stakeholders across the campus
and various divisions and departments that have played such a significant role prior to me getting here, and now that I am here in this role, to make sure that we get to the end of the street when it comes to the stadium and the preparation. So hats off to them and other key contributors and stakeholders that are not on FAMU's campus. They've done a really good job of working alongside us and helping us make sure that come September the 10th, when we open up Brack Stadium, that we're going to be ready. And so we'll keep everybody abreast of what's going on and thank them for their flexibility and not being bent out of shape as we prepare for those 5 great contests that we'll have in Brack Stadium.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, this is Earl Hankerson with INSiiGHTS Sports here at SWAC Media Day with QB1, Trayvon Connolly. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Hey, so this is going to be your first season coming in at quarterback, taking over for Jawan Pass from last season. So what is your outlook on the season, what you're looking forward to, some of your team goals?
Team goals, win every game. I think we got the capacity to definitely go undefeated. We got a lot of weapons that everybody don't know about. Got a lot of people coming in, offensive line. We got the tools for it. We got the coaching for it. That's just how I feel about everything. Personal goals or anything like that, 5,000 yards for sure. 5,000 yards, I think it's pretty obtainable. Not even just in our division, but I just think it's obtainable every year.
That's a pretty lofty goal. Who are you going to be? Who's one of your main targets?
My main target would be any receiver that's out there. Any receiver, any open running back.
Yes, sir. More of a team concept. Looking for all-around production from everybody this year.
Yeah.
All right. And now coming in with head coach Bubba McDowell. What's your thoughts?
We are pretty high. We are pretty high on the idea of Coach McDowell. Coach McDowell been there for a long time. So we all comfortable with him. We all know how Coach Bub operates, what he expects of us. So I feel like we're in the best situation.
All right, and finally, coming off of a season last year that took you to the SWAC championship game, what are you going to be able to take from that experience into this season?
The feeling of defeat, that feeling was something that drives you. You don't want to go through it anymore. So it's preparing so you don't feel that at the end of any game. Seeing the other team celebrate, seeing Jackson celebrate the way that they did, it kind of drove us the wrong way. So we're going to use it as determination to get back to that spot and win it.
Yes, sir. Hey, this is Trayvon Connolly, QB1 at Prairie View University.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Tell me what you're looking forward to with this season coming up.
I'm just excited to kick it off, man. We've been working extremely hard. Oh, you can talk louder?
Yeah.
I'm just excited to kick it off, man. We've been working extremely hard to see all the work that we put in over the offseason. I'm just excited to see it finally hit the field.
Do you feel like Southern has something to prove this year? Because perennially, y'all get it done.
We don't have nothing to prove, but we understand that Southern is a standard. And so we have to live up to that standard. And so I think that's the biggest thing that we have to do is just continue to be the standard.
Oh, I like that. Continue to be the standard. I ain't got nothing else to ask you. That was all right. Dallas, getting that water, you can give me some extended answers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me what it means to you to be a Southern and be able to go on that field with that Southern tradition.
Definitely. I love the tradition, the pride that comes along with being at Southern. I've been Southern 6 years from now, and I loved every second of it. Growing up in New Orleans, you definitely hear about it. You definitely see it a lot. Southern Bayou Class come down there, so it's great to be a part of it.
What high school did you go to in Southern?
I went to McMain in New Orleans.
Okay, they act like the only high school in New Orleans is St. Aug. That's why I asked. Yeah, we just did a story about St. Aug. So what are you studying in Southern?
I'm currently in grad school. In my third semester of grad school, studying business administration with a concentration in finance.
Okay. Thank you, young man.
Yes, sir.
coaches voted. They voted on how they predicted the teams would fare this upcoming season. And as you can see, they picked Jackson State to win the SWAC East. 12 coaches outright picked them to be number one at the end of the season. Number two went to Florida A&M, 108 points. 7 coaches picked them to win. They picked them 1 and 2, and that's exactly how they finished last year. 1 and 2, separated only by a point in the Orange Blossom Classic, which there will be a rematch this year to open the season. Number 3, Cornell Maynard. Number 3, Alabama A&M with 87 points. 2 coaches picked them to win. Number 4, Alabama State out of Montgomery with 60 points. 1 coach picked them to win the SWAC East. Number 5, Bethune-Cookman with 56 points. 6th place, Mississippi Valley State with 35 points. SWAC East. This is how the coaches called them. Jackson State 1, Florida A&M 2, Alabama A&M 3, Alabama State 4, Bethune-Cookman 5, and Mississippi Valley State 6. What you think? You agree with that? Let us hear from you. Tell us what you think. We appreciate you. The predicted order of finish in the SWAC West by the coaches of the Southwestern Athletic Conference picked Southern barely as number 1. 111 points. 11 coaches picked them to win it. We say barely because Alcorn State was picked number 2. 1 point separated the coaches in their tabulation for 1 and 2. Southern at 111 points. Alcorn 110. 5 coaches picked them to be outright winners. Right there, let you know that's going to be a dog fight in the SWAC West, Southern and Alcorn. But you can't ever forget Prairie View. Number 3, 82 points. 5 coaches picked them. Just as many picked them to win, Prairie View to win as Alcorn to win. Grambling State, 77 points. 1 coach picked them to win. 5th, Arkansas Pine Bluff with 42 points, and Texas Southern with 40 points. Only 2 points separate those at 5th and 6th. SWAC West. The team they picked to win again, Southern 1st, Alcorn 2nd, Prairie View 3rd, Grambling 4th, Arkansas Pine Bluff 5th, number 6, Texas Southern. So based on the coaches and their voting, they're looking for Southern and Jackson State to play in the SWAC championship game. The SWAC picked their preseason team, and we showing here for you to see is the first team offense led by quarterback Shadir Sanders from Jackson State. Running back Gary Quarles from Alabama A&M, and running back Caleb Johnson from Mississippi Valley State. Wide receiver Abdul Faid Ibrahim from Alabama A&M, and Xavier Smith, X-Man from Florida A&M. Tight end Kamari Everett, Bethune-Cookman. Up front, the linemen they have Dallas Black from Southern, Mark Evans II from Arkansas Pine Bluff, Drake Centers at Texas Southern, Tony Gray at Jackson State, Robert Alston from Alabama State. These are the players that they voted first team all SWAC preseason. You can get the rest of the list off the SWAC website, SWAC.org. Preseason all first team on defense. Defensive lineman Shandiata Anderson from Grambling State. Reggie Thomas, Mississippi Valley State. Jason Dumas, Southern. Jordan Lewis, Southern. Isaiah Land, Florida A&M linebacker. Aubrey Miller, Jackson State linebacker. Monroe Beard III, Arkansas Pine Bluff. And those corners Amari Hill Robinson, Bethune-Cookman. Irshad Davis, Alabama State. Shiloh Sanders, Jackson State. B.J. Bowler, Florida A&M University. We have a Sanders picked preseason offense. We got a Sanders picked preseason defense. Jackson State represented well. The Sanders family represented well too. This is the preseason all first team defense. A lot of these cornerbacks are players that will get an opportunity to play at the next level. Good number of our young men in the SWAC. In fact, 20 from HBCU are on the 1,000 watch list for the Shrine Bowl. Keep an eye out. You need to support these teams and these programs, because the next time, if you don't see them now, the next time you see them will be on Sunday on your television. See them early. Support SWAC. The preseason Offensive Player of the Year, quarterback Shadir Sanders from Jackson State. You got an interview. You talk to him. Preseason Defensive Player of the Year, Isaiah Lamb, Florida A&M University. We got an interview with him. Talk to him as well. You get a chance to talk to these young men, to hear them, to hear what they have to say. A lot of times you end up supporting teams and players because of the young men, as you get to learn them and about them. That's why the publicity and the attention that they get lets you know who they are on the inside, about their thought patterns, let you get a chance to see how well educated these young men are and the ability to communicate and talk to you. The future is bright for a number of them. Preseason All-SWAC first team specialist, place kicker Jose Ramon Martinez, Florida A&M. Punter Jose Sanchez, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Long snapper Thomas Berry, Arkansas Pine Bluff again. Josh has somebody who could snap it to him. Return specialist Isaiah Bolden, Jackson State. Preseason all accolades. SWAC football. Living for the weekend. SWAC football. They released a television schedule. There's so many games on here on ESPN, ESPNU, ESPN Plus. Man, you just pick out your team. You need to get a early look at who's playing where and when, so you can follow your school, follow some of these young men and the coaches that you hear us and other people talk about. But mostly, when you hear about the SWAC, it'll be from our social media outlets that the door has been opened for us to be able to bring insight into them and their programs. So you need to follow and subscribe to us. You can catch Insights on Insights Roku. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us. We will have information about Black college football and a SWAC report. Support those programs that you want to know about. Support all of them. You don't have to be limited to one. SWAC football. Living for the weekend.